The children who need the most love usually ask for it in the most unloving ways. It is important for us as a society to remember that the youth within the juvenile justice systems are most of the time youths who simply haven't had the right mentors and supporters around them because of circumstances beyond their control. Pranam and a very good morning to one and all. I, Chetna Patnaik, Judicial Magistrate, First Class, Rairangpur, on behalf of the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, extend a very warm and hearty welcome to everyone present here to this state-level juvenile justice consultation on the effective implementation of the Juvenile Justice Act and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, with special emphasis on children with disabilities, organized by the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, in collaboration with the Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Government of Orissa, the Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Orissa, and UNICEF. Today's consultation has been organized with a view to delve deeper into the measures undertaken at the state level for children with disabilities and is aimed at the effective implementation of the Juvenile Justice Act and the POCSO Act, covering children in need of care and protection, children in conflict with law, children who have been victims of sexual violence, and other vulnerable children. Today, we are fortunate to have with us Honorable Mr. Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, who, owing to his other commitments, could not be present in person but has joined us through video conferencing mode. We also have with us Honorable Mr. Justice Debabrata Das, Judge and Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, Honorable Ms. Justice Savitri Rathore, Judge and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, Honorable Mr. Justice Aditya Mahapatra, Judge and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, Honorable Mr. Justice Murahari Sriraman, Judge and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, and companion judges of the Honorable High Court of Orissa, who have spared their valuable time to be with us here today. On this momentous occasion, we also have with us Shri Bishnupada Sethi, IAS Principal Secretary, Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Government of Orissa, Srimati Shubha Sharma, IAS Principal Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Orissa, and other officers of the Government of Orissa and the Police Department, resource persons, technical experts, and members of the print and electronic media. I would now humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice Debabrata Das, Judge and Chairperson, and his companion judges of the Honorable High Court of Orissa to kindly adorn the dais. Honorable Ms. Justice Savitri Rathore, Judge, High Court of Orissa. Shri Bishnupada Sethi, IAS Principal Secretary, Social Security and Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Srimati Shubha Sharma, IAS Principal Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, and Mr. William Hanlon Jr., Chief of Field Office for Orissa UNICEF, to kindly adorn the dais. As a mark of our immense and heartfelt gratitude and respect for the gracious presence of the dignitaries amongst us, I now request Ms. Sushrita Mishra, Ms. Chigyasa Panda, Ms. Ritushri Maharana, Ms. Rituparna Das, and Ms. Diksha Seth to kindly present a sapling to our dignitaries as a mark of our respect and gratitude. With that expression of gratitude, may I seek permission of the Honorable Chair to declare. Sir. Sir. As it is now time for us to commence the event, I would request everyone present here to kindly rise as a mark of respect for the rendition of the state song Bande Utkala Janani. To begin with the inaugural session of this program, may I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Debabrata Das, Judge and Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Namaskar. Honorable Sri Justice Chakradhari Saran Singh, Chief Justice Orissa High Court, who is joining us virtually from New Delhi, where he has gone to attend another important conference. My Lord, thank you is not enough to express the gratitude, keeping in view the pain your Lordship has taken to encourage us, despite your pressing engagement. Miss Justice Savitri Ratha, Mr. Justice Aditya Kumar Mahapatra, Mr. Justice Murari Sri Raman, members of our Juvenile Justice Committee, all brother judges who are present and who have come to join us, spoiling their off day from the hectic work schedule. I extend my thanks to them and welcome them at the same time. Madam Subha Sharma, Principal Secretary, Women and Child Development Department of Government of Odisha, Sri Vishnupada Sethi, Principal Secretary, SEPD, Madam Salini Pandit, Principal Secretary, School and Mass Education, Mr. William Hanlon Jr., the Chief of Field Office of UNICEF Odisha, and all the office bearers of Odisha chapter of UNICEF who have joined us, Madam Saini, IG, CAW and CW, Registrar General and his team, Director of Judicial Academy and other officers, Secretary Odisha State Legal Services Authority and his team, beloved principal magistrates of juvenile justice boards across the state, presiding officers of the POCSO court and children court, government officials present with us, all other participants and stakeholders called for the consultation, officials of UNICEF present, members of print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. If I have forgotten someone to be addressed, please excuse me for the constraint of time. Good morning. With sense of great pleasure, I stand here as the chairperson of the Juvenile Justice Committee in welcoming you all in this state-level consultation on effective implementation of children-centric laws in force with special emphasis on children with disability. Father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, once said, "The true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members." John F. Kennedy had put it in this way, that children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future. We have gathered here with a shared commitment to the protection of our children, particularly the most vulnerable among them, those with disabilities. Our focus today is on ensuring the effective implementation of Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, POCSO Act, which we call, with a special emphasis on children with disabilities. In the preamble of our Constitution, we, the people of India, have solemnly resolved to secure all its citizens social justice alongside other forms of justice. However, social justice cannot be achieved merely through the enactment of laws unless the subjects of these laws are made aware of that and derive the real benefits intended under the legislation, whether being the beneficiary or being the person under the obligation. In the pursuit of this objective, I welcome the participation of Panchayat Raj Department, the Education Department, and the State Legal Services Authority in this consultation to disseminate the message effectively. It's not the individual with disabilities who are necessarily deficient. Our current system has also somewhere some deficiencies to provide equal treatment and opportunities to the disabled as they need and require. The purpose of today's consultation is to find out those loopholes and fill the gaps so that in future the road we will have better than what we have the road today. It should be, however, in conformity with the provisions contained in Article 14 of the Constitution of India. To address this issue, I welcome SSEPD Department and the Women Child Development Department participants to take necessary further measures in that right direction. Every sovereign state has the ultimate objective of ensuring justice for its citizen, whether their rights are infringed or remain unprotected. The Constitution of India vests this responsibility with judiciary, with the support of the executive. In the criminal justice system, one of the crucial phases before the trial is the stage of investigation. When dealing with a mentally disabled child, significant challenges arise before the investigating agencies, magistrates, courts, and other staffs, particularly in recording the statement of the child and to understand their behavior. The approach has to be child-friendly and child-centric. To enhance the process of investigation and to aid in this understanding of the behavior of the disabled, I welcome the investigating agencies who are present here in the participation, as well as the team of psychological experts and doctors who will enlighten this gathering on this subject. Keeping the said object in mind, the concluding technical session is dedicated to a group discussion with the relevant stakeholders, encouraging their active participation. I also welcome the members of judiciary in this consultation, which includes me and my brother judges too, with the objective that their participation will only enhance the deep analysis in this consultation, but also provide them with a broader perspective for consideration in the adjudicatory process. The problem of children is not only a concern of a state or a country, but it's a global issue. As such, I welcome the UNICEF, NGOs, and specialized civil society organizations to carry forward the objective of this consultation. Last but not the least, I welcome all those who are present here to contribute to support and strengthen this consultation. Let us strive hard to build a legal system that is not only just but also compassionate, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of every child, particularly children with disability. I wish you all a productive and meaningful consultation. Together, let us pave the way for a future where every child in Odisha and across the nation and globe can grow up in a safe, supportive, and empowering environment. At this juncture, it is apt to place through the spectrum of history the voice of Abraham Lincoln. I quote, "A child is a person going to carry on what you have started. He is going to sit where we are sitting. And when you are gone, attend to those things you think important. You may adopt all policies you please, but how they are carried out depends upon them. He is going to move in and take over the churches, schools, institutions, universities, and whatnot. The fate of humanity is in the hands of those children." I unquote. We must keep this as mantra and accordingly take the pledge in doing lot more in the days to come in the backdrop of the broad policies, but having the area and region specific approach with the policy framework looking at the ground realities. I once again welcome you all to the state level consultation, and I'm sure that this will, with your active participation, achieve the avowed purpose in playing a vital role in the national level conference scheduled to be held this month towards the end. Wish you all the very best. Bande Utkala Janani.
Thank you, sir, for that very warm and sincere welcome address. It is now my honor and privilege to invite Honorable Mr. Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, who has joined us through video conferencing mode to kindly address the gathering.
Very good morning to all of you. Brother Das, Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, Sister Savitri, Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, other members of the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, Madam Sharma, Madam Sethi, Mr. William Hanlon, other participants, brother judges. I am hugely missing this opportunity to be a part of the state level consultation on effective implementation of Juvenile Justice Act and POCSO Act with specific focus on children with disabilities. This subject is very close to my heart. It is imperative that we ensure that all children, regardless of their ability, are protected under the law and provided with the care and support they need to thrive. The Juvenile Justice Act and the POCSO Act are powerful tools that aim to safeguard the rights of children and hold perpetrators of crime against them accountable. However, we must recognize that children with disabilities often face unique challenges and vulnerabilities that require special attention and care. Effective implementation of these acts requires a comprehensive approach that takes into consideration the specific needs of children with disabilities. This includes providing them with access to appropriate support services, ensuring that their voices are heard and respected, and creating a safe and inclusive environment for them to learn and grow. As we work towards a more just and equitable society, let us commit to upholding the rights of all children, especially those with disabilities. Let us strive to create a world where every child is valued, protected, and give the opportunity to reach their full potential. I hope this state level consultation will be beneficial to all these stakeholders, particularly our magistrates, special judges, POCSO courts, and everyone who is participating, the government officials, the police personnel. I hope this program, whether this is online or not, can someone tell me? So I hope that everyone who has joined this consultation must be benefited immensely by this consultation program, and they'll return with important takeaways. Thank you so much. And before I conclude, I must say that I had to join this online under a threat issued by the chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, Orissa High Court. And of course, it was my desire also to participate even otherwise. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, my lord. Your very valuable words and insightful words of wisdom and contributions are invaluable in guiding our efforts today to ensure a more inclusive and effective justice system for all children. We are also honored to have amongst us Mr. William Hanlon Jr., Chief of Field Office for Orissa, UNICEF, who is a distinguished representative from the organization that plays a pivotal role in advocating the rights and protection of children worldwide. May I humbly request, sir, to kindly address the gathering today.
Honorable Justice Shakandri Sharan Singh, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa. Honorable Justice Debabrata Dash, Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa. Honorable Justice Savitri Ratho, Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa. Mr. Vishnupada Sethi, Principal Secretary, Department of Social Security and Employment of Persons with Disabilities. Ms. Shubha Sarma, Principal Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Odisha. Honorable judges and High Court of the High Court and members of the Juvenile Justice Committee, senior officials of the Registry, High Court of Orissa, and Odisha's Judiciary Academy, officials of all government departments, and members of the civil society organizations, and my fellow colleagues from UNICEF. Namaskar, and good morning to you all. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Juvenile Justice Committee of the High Court of Orissa, along with the Odisha Judicial Academy. The Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, the Department of Women and Child Development, for organizing this crucial consultation on strengthening the inclusive child protection system with a special focus on the children with disabilities. Every time a child with a disability is excluded, a unique story goes untold, a voice remains unheard, and a life is denied the opportunity it rightfully deserves. Often, the needs of these children are overlooked. Today, we gather not just to discuss policies and frameworks, but to reaffirm our commitment to creating an enabling ecosystem where children with disabilities are included, protected, and empowered to reach their full potential. The cost of excluding children with disabilities would defeat our global commitment on leaving no one left behind, no child left behind. Therefore, I would propose that adequate investments are undertaken in healthcare, education, and social protection programs to ensure that children with disabilities are seen, counted, and mainstreamed. We at UNICEF envision a world where every child matters. That is, no child is left behind. We want a future where all children, regardless of their activities, can live a life of dignity and reach their full potential. I support this opportunity to reiterate UNICEF's commitment to support the government of Odisha in its efforts to protect the rights of the children, especially the most vulnerable, including those with disabilities. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I wish you a successful and wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that very impactful address. Next, I would like to call upon Srimati Shubha Sharma, IAS, Principal Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Orissa, to kindly address the gathering. Ma'am, please.
Respected Honorable Shri Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh Ji, Honorable Shri Justice Debabrat Das, Chairperson Juvenile Justice Committee, Honorable Madam Savitri Rathore, Justice Savitri Rathore, Member Juvenile Justice Committee, the other Justice members of the Juvenile Justice Committee, Shri Bishnupat Sethi, Principal Secretary, SSEPD Department, Ms. Shalini Pandit, Secretary, School and Mass Education Department, Mr. William Hanlon Jr., Chief of UNICEF Odisha, Shiny, ADG Crime Against Women, Monisha Banerjee, Director ICDS and Social Welfare, other dignitaries, senior officers of the state government, the judiciary, UNICEF officials led by Shri Manna Biswas, colleagues from the field, and members of the media. It is a privilege to be part of this August gathering for the Juvenile Justice Consultation on effective implementation of POCSO and JJ Act with respect to children with disabilities. Today, we deliberate upon an issue which is so important, yet which is rarely discussed. Albert Einstein said, "Most people see what is and never see what can be." Many of us see children with special abilities as people with broken bodies and disturbed minds, not as hidden talent meant to be nurtured and encouraged. There is no doubt that such children are disproportionately vulnerable to neglect, abuse, and exploitation due to their physical, sensory, and cognitive impairments. This vulnerability is further magnified when they are children in need of care and protection or children in conflict with the law. We all know CNCP and CICL often come from severely dysfunctional or disadvantaged backgrounds, such as orphanhood, abandonment, survivors of trafficking, child labor, sexual abuse, and those from dysfunctional and broken families. When combined with their own physical or mental limitations, these adversities and trauma multiply their vulnerabilities and marginalization within society. Our lawmakers recognize this risk, and thus the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015 explicitly and categorically states that children in need of care and protection includes those children who are mentally or physically challenged, suffering from terminal or incurable diseases. It also covers children who are at risk or are being abused, tortured, or exploited for sexual abuse or illegal acts. Children with disabilities fall under both these categories. This legal recognition also mandates the provision of specialized care, protection, and rehabilitative services for these children. Similarly, for POCSO victims, the JJ Act as well as POCSO Act 2012 mandates a framework to ensure that POCSO victims with disabilities get their rights to due process, rehabilitation, and reintegration with special accommodations made to address their specific needs. They are to be supported with specialized legal representation, trauma-informed psychological care, and other support services. The sensitivity of the judiciary is complemented by the commitment of the executive to provide inclusive care, holistic development, and well-being of all children with a special focus on children with disabilities. I would like to share some of the initiatives taken by the Department of Women and Child Development in this regard. In 2022, the state government notified the Odisha State Policy for Children, Prarambha. It emphasizes the unique needs and rights of children with disabilities and calls for early identification and intervention in development delays starting from pregnancy. It also advocates for inclusive practices in Anganwadi centers, schools, and childcare institutions. The debate on whether children with special needs should be placed along with other children or whether they should receive focused care continues. In the meantime, 127 CNCP children with disabilities are currently housed across 168 children's homes and benefit from various schemes like Samagra Shiksha, Bani Shri Scholarship, disability certificates, and related benefits. Under the guidance of Honorable Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, we are also working towards improving these institutions as model homes. Recognizing the importance of a family in a child's development journey, our focus on adoption and family-based care has increased in the last few years. I am happy to share that in the last 3 years, 47 children with disabilities have been placed in loving homes through adoption. The critical importance of early and timely identification of disabilities in children cannot be overemphasized. Statistics show that 80% disabilities can be cured or at least mitigated if detected early on. All children who come to the specialized adoption agencies or SA undergo diagnostic evaluations by specialized doctors, trained therapists, and are provided with assistive aid and technology. The department has also incorporated disability-friendly infrastructure such as ramps, rails, and availability of wheelchairs in all its buildings. Some institutions, like the Observation Home and Special Home in Malkangiri, also offer audiovisual aids and training for children with disabilities. Having said that, challenges persist. There is a shortage of trained therapists, special educators, and tailored rehabilitation services, which are crucial for addressing the unique needs of such children. POCSO victims with disabilities require specialized legal representation and other support services which are insufficiently available. The trauma experienced by these children is often worsened due to their inability to effectively communicate or even understand the proceedings, leave alone participate in them. Though the POCSO Act specifies that necessary arrangements for interpreters or special educators be made, the reality is that adequate, specialized, and trained legal assistants, sign language interpreters, behavior therapists, or psychologists are woefully inadequate. The hesitation of these experts to visit the police station or courts cannot be wished away either. It is here that platforms like this consultation play a significant role in addressing these challenges. All of us in this hall are united by our commitment to make this world a more inclusive and safer place for children with special needs. Joint initiatives and efforts can enhance resource allocation, foster the training of caregivers and legal professionals, and we can develop specialized programs tailored to the needs of children with disabilities. I am optimistic that under the guidance of the Juvenile Justice Committee, we can lay the groundwork for a coordinated and effective approach to address these critical issues and also ensure that every child, not only has a right to survive and thrive, but also to be counted, heard, to participate, and be protected. Today, we stand at the base of a tall staircase where each step is a positive initiative for providing justice to children with special needs. We have ascended many steps with our perseverance. I am confident that with our combined efforts, we will be able to reach the top. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very insightful and compelling address. Now, I would humbly request Shri Vishnupada Sethi, IAS, Principal Secretary, Social Security and Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, to kindly address the gathering.
A very good morning to all of you. Honorable Sri Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, Chief Justice, Odisha High Court, and Chief Guest of the occasion, Honorable Sri Justice Debabrata Das, Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, Honorable Miss Justice Savitri Ratho, Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, Honorable other judges of Odisha High Court, seated along with me in the dais, Mr. William Hanlon Jr., Chief of Field Office Odisha, my colleague Shubha Sharma, many dignitaries and invited guests in the auditorium. At the outset, I must express my deep gratitude to the Chief Justice of Odisha High Court and the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, for allowing the Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Person with Disability, Government of Odisha, to partner with this workshop. Indeed, we are very much thankful and wish to look forward to the recommendations which we will take it as direction from the committee and work to further the agenda for development of Odisha and the country. We all understand the importance of the subject. The inclusive development agenda of our country is summarized by the clarion call, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. The Union Budget 2014, 2024 and 25 reaffirms this commitment of empowering all citizens, especially the poor and marginalized, to seize opportunity in this journey towards a Viksit Bharat. The focus is now on the needs, issues, and contribution of about 60 to 70 million lakhs of people with disability in Odisha. And if our state has to achieve a goal to be a developed state, to make it a $500 billion economy by 2036 and a $1.5 trillion economy by 2047, then we have to essentially reaffirm our commitment on the issues of disability. The Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disability was formed in the year 2015, and our strength is derived from the milestones reflected in the Constitution of India, United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disability 2007, Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016, New Education Policy 2020, and the Sustainable Development Goals. We have a number of plans and programs to further the goals. We have State Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Disability, wherein we try to integrate and provide therapy service to the children with disability by providing comprehensive rehabilitation services, therapeutic services including physiotherapy, occupational therapy, psychotherapy, speech and hearing therapy, orientation and mobility, and other counsel, counseling services to the PWD, especially children with disabilities. And the state government has a plan to expand the services by opening up centers in other district headquarters. We also have a scheme called rehabilitation of physically and mentally challenged, socially disadvantaged person. And under this scheme, we have got 78 centers across 29 districts, and those centers are managed by 64 number of empaneled project implementing agency who are provided grants in it. Those children who especially are not suited for the neighborhood schools are brought to our special schools. There are 103 number of special schools and one higher secondary school for the hearing impaired, which is in Bhubaneswar. Out of the 103 number of special schools, 37 schools are for hearing impaired, 27 schools are for visually impaired, and 34 number of schools are for intellectually disabled. 2 schools are for autism, and 3 schools are for cerebral palsy students. We provide Banishri scholarships, and we also provide uniform to the children in the special schools. We provide laptops to the visually impaired children who take up higher educations in the colleges and universities. And we have a host of training program to impact skill skill training so that the children are placed in various companies. We have also the district disability rehabilitation centers at the district headquarters, and they have a host of services to be provided to the children with disabilities. Under the pension schemes, we cover all the children with benchmark disability of 40% and above, and they are provided a, at different slabs of pension starting with 1,000 rupees. And we also have a roadmap before us to strengthen the convergence of the department with other schemes and program. Some of them which are being discussed as an agenda of the department could be like we would like to come out with a state policy for persons with disability. And this is also a mandate of the RPWD Act 2016. There is a direction or a mandate in the RPWT Act that 5% of the budget have to be spent for the persons with disability. We are working out a mechanism how to enforce this and monitor the expenditure for the disabled people. We had done a survey for the survey and identification of the children with disability earlier. Now it is high time that we take up another survey with the children with disability. We also envision to have a back to school campaign for the out of school and children dropout of the school dropout children with disability, and I will solicit the help of my colleague Shalini Pandit, who is there to work on this program. We'd also, with her help, to work on another agenda of our department, that is appointment of the special educator for all the schools for inclusive education as per the direction of Honorable Apex Court in the Rajneesh Kumar Pandey versus Union of India case. Similarly, we'd also like to prepare individual education plan and individual care plan of every child with disability. Similarly, we would take up sensitization program for government employees on disability issues involving various training institutions like Gopabandhu Academy, Madhusudan Academy, Orissa Judicial Academy, Biju Patnaik Academy, Roti, SIRD, etc. And we will find out how can we ensure universal accessibility of all the public buildings. We will also create cell for the disabled person and appoint nodal officers in all the department to monitor accessibility and inclusion matters. We have requested the higher education department to open equal opportunity cell in universities and colleges, and that will ensure equal access of higher education and professional education of students with disability. Similarly, we would expedite and take up more number of training programs for persons with disability, and we will also enforce the accessibility of government websites as per the Ministry of Social Justice web accessibility guidelines. So there are a host of other issues that we would like to take up, like for example, ensuring 4% reservation in promotion for the PWD employees, adoption and notification of the list of identified jobs for the PWDG as per the Government of India notification. And we will also like to, like all other department, to fill up the backlog reserve vacancy earmarked for the persons with disability as per the direction of Honorable High Court of Orissa in Damodar Kar PIL case. So there are a large number of schemes and thoughts that is running in the department, and with implementation of those ideas, I'm sure the uh, the department would ensure justice to the people with disabilities. And in fact, I'm really happy that I met uh, Honorable Justice Devabrata Das, who expressed his idea. I must, I must thank him for his, sensitivity on these issues. And he said, expressed his desire that he has a piece of land in Jharpokhria in Moyurbanj, and he would like to donate it to the department if the department could use it for the benefit of the children with disability. I assure you, sir, that we will can make your wishes come true, and we will work with our department official, and we like to do some project or create an institution there in the honor of your father, that you wish to donate and create an institution for the benefit of the people with disability in the state. I once again thank the Honorable Chief Justice of Orissa High Court and the Juvenile Justice Committee of High Court for allowing us to partner with this such an important consultation workshop, which is being held for a day. And I thank you all for giving me an opportunity to speak here. Thank you very much. Bande Utkal Janani.
Thank you, sir, for that very sincere and thought-provoking address. May I now humbly seek permission of the chair to kindly play the audio-visual representation of voices of children with disabilities. The video may kindly be played.
Sakshama ame, sakshama ame, hele bibhinno divyang amara anga kamare amari mana.
ମୁଁ ଭଲ ଜେସିବି ମଡେଲ ଭଲ ତିଆରି କରେ, ଆଉ ଭଲ ଗୀତ ବି ଭଲ ମୁଁ ଗାଏ, ଭଲ ଡ୍ରଇଂ ବି ଭଲ କରେ, ଭଲ ୱେଲ୍ଡିଂ ବି ଭଲ କରେ, ଭଲ ସ୍କେଟିଂ କରେ, ମାଟିରେ ଭଲ ଭଲ ଟେରାକୋଟା ଜିନିଷ ସେଇଟା ବି ତିଆରି କରେ। ମୋର ବ୍ରୋଜର କମ୍ପାନୀରେ କାମ କରିବାକୁ ଆଶା ଅଛି।
ପାଠ ପଢୁଛି, ଟିଚର ହଉଛି, ତୋତା ବୁଝୁଛି।
ଏଇ ଦେଶ ଏଇ ମାଟି ମମତା ମଇ ମାଟି, ସେବା ତାର ଜୀବନ ଦେବା, ସେବା ତାର ଜୀବନ ଦେବା, ସକିବା ତାର ନାତି।
ଆମେରିକା ଲସ୍ ଏଞ୍ଜେଲ 2015 ମସିହାରେ ବିଚ୍ ଭଲିବଲ୍ ମୁଁ ଗୋଲ୍ଡ ମେଡାଲ ପାଇଛି। 2017 ମସିହାରେ ଅଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଲିଆରେ ମୁଁ ଫ୍ଲୋର ହକି ଥାର୍ଡ ପ୍ରାଇଜ୍ ପାଇଛି। ମୋତେ ଭଲ ମିଳିପାରିଲେ ମୁଁ କିଛି ଭଲ କରିବି।
ସାଇକ୍ଲିଂ ଶିଖିଲି, ସ୍କେଟିଂ, ସୁଇମିଂ ଆଉ ଡ୍ରଇଂ। ଯେଉଁ ତାନଟା ଦେଲେ ସେ ତାନଟା କରିବା ଇଚ୍ଛା ଅଛି।
ମୁଁ ଜଣେ ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଖେଳୁଆଡ଼। ମୁଁ ଜର୍ମାନୀ ଯାଇଥିଲି, ଆଉ ସେଠି ଟଙ୍କା କ୍ୟାସ୍ ଆୱାର୍ଡ଼ ମିଳିଥିଲା। ଆଗରୁ ଖେଳକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଅଛି। ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଖେଳକୁ ଯିବି ମେଡାଲ ପାଇବି ଓଡ଼ିଶାକୁ ମୁଁ ଗର୍ବ କରିବି
ମୁଁ ୱାକର ସାହାଯ୍ୟରେ ଚାଲେ ମୋତେ ବଡ଼ ହେଲେ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ୟୁନିଟ୍ରେ ପଢ଼ିବି କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ୟୁନିଟ୍ରେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଦରକାର ମୋତେ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ତରଫରୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ ମିଳିଲେ ମୁଁ ଆଗକୁ ଭଲ ଚାକିରି କରିବି
ଆମେ ବି ଭାଗ୍ୟବାନ ଆମେ ବି ଭାଗ୍ୟବାନ
Thank you so much. As we near the end of this inaugural session, I would humbly request Her Ladyship, Honorable Miss Justice Savitri Rathore, Judge and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Orissa, to kindly present the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Justice Shri Chakradhari Sharan Singh Ji, Honorable Justice Mr. Debabrata Das, Chairman of the Juvenile Justice Committee, esteemed Brother Justice Aditya Kumar Mahapatra, esteemed Brother Justice M.S. Raman, who are the members of the committee, my other esteemed brothers who are physically present in the auditorium, and those who are present through online mode. Mr. William Hanlon Jr., Chief of Field Office of UNICEF for Odisha, Shri Bishnupada Sethi, Principal Secretary, Social Security and Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Government of Odisha, Srimati Subha Sharma, Principal Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Orissa, Srimati Shalini Pandit, Principal Secretary, Department of School and Mass Education, other government officers, the Registrar General and other officers of the registry, the Director of the Judicial Academy and his team, participants of the various technical sessions, the Secretary, Juvenile Justice Committee and his team, ladies, gentlemen, and children. Namaskar and a very good morning to you. The Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities defines living with a disability as having a long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairment that, in interaction with the environment, hinders one's participation in society on an equal basis with others. Children are the future of our country. They are its most valuable and at the same time its most vulnerable resource. Children, apart from food and education, need love, care, and proper guidance to grow up to be healthy and successful adults. The care and attention they get and the environment they live in during their childhood has a bearing on what kind of person they will grow up to be. Every child matters. Children with disabilities are special children. They are part of every community. They are either born with or acquire impairments, disabilities, which gives rise to functional difficulties like seeing, walking, hearing, talking, caring for oneself, thinking, ability to tackle a problem, deal with a situation, or even making friends. The extent to which such persons are able to function, participate in society, and lead fulfilling lives depends on the extent to which they are accommodated and included by the society. All of us have noticed that very often a child who may be having some impairment, physical, sensory, or cognitive, often has some special talent. He may be a mathematics wizard, a very good singer, a painter, a dancer, a sculptor, a brilliant cook, and even a computer wizard, and even a dancer. In fact, you have heard some of these children who we just heard just now expressing the interest in various activities only because they have been given a chance. There are other children who may not be able to contribute anything to society, but they have equal rights. They too deserve to live in this world with dignity and feel loved and wanted. As they are special, they need special care and attention. The Government of India has enacted 3 acts which, if effectively implemented, would go a long way in looking after these special children and during the formative years and when they even look for employment. They're the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, and the Persons with Disabilities Equal Opportunities Protection of Right
and Full Participation Act 1995. Mr. Sethi and Madam Sharma have given us a glimpse of the special programs and services which the government has provided for these special children. But there are bottlenecks. That is why we have assembled here today to deliberate on how to effectively implement the JJ Act and the POCSO Act for the benefit of these special children. I'm sorry I got carried away and a little emotional, but I forgot that and I must tell you that I have been given the pleasant task of thanking all of you for sparing your valuable time to be part of this inaugural function. Your presence is a source of inspiration to the participants and members of the committee. Thank you, everybody, physically and present and virtually present and also present in spirit in this inaugural function, and all those who will participate in the various technical sessions of the state level consultation. Thank you and Jai Hind. And I would be failing in my duty if I do not give special thanks to our Chief Justice for addressing us for addressing us on virtual mode. This gesture means a lot to us. Thank you, sir. Namaste, Jai Hind. A very good day to all of you.
With that gratitude being expressed, we now come to the end of this inaugural session of the state level consultation program. May I kindly seek permission of the Honorable Chair to declare the inaugural session closed. Thank you, Your Lordship. The inaugural session is now declared closed. I would now humbly request all the dignitaries and guests and participants to kindly assemble at the Academy's portico for the group photo session. We shall all reassemble here at 10:50 a.m. for the commencement of the first technical session. Thank you. Namaskar.